Hi, Miss.
Hey there, Melissa. How you doing?
Everything is okay. What about you?
I'm good. I think my connection wasn't working that well, but I think now it's working.
Yeah.
So, well, today actually we're gonna finish up with the first task, so that this is the last time that we're gonna see this, I promise. And yeah, so it's still the first independent task. You know what to do here already. You have a prompt, and then you get 15 seconds to prepare and 45 then to speak.
Okay.
You know, any questions before we start?
No, everything is okay.
Okay. Yeah. So the first task for today will be, I guess, okay, not that one. Okay, maybe this one.
Okay.
So agree or disagree. All students should be required to study art and music in secondary or high school. Use specific reasons to support your answer. So 15 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. So if you're ready, then you can go ahead.
I definitely agree about the statement that students should take music and art in the school due to the fact that they can develop their creativity and also can relax themselves. To illustrate it better, when I was in school, I remember that when I have exams, I was so nervous. So that classes were my favorite ones because I uh, could have more time to myself and also to be more relaxed. So I think that I agree about this statement.
Okay, nice. So I love your example. This time, I think like the previous session, I think you were struggling a bit with the tenses, but now you got that right. Nothing to say really, good arguments, good examples. You were using some transitions, that's good. Maybe you could add some more as well, and also at the end instead of so. And what I could tell you, one tiny thing, careful with at the beginning when you say I agree with this statement, right? Not about this statement.
Oh, okay.
So careful position there, and we're good to go.
Yay. Thanks.
Okay. All right, this one seems interesting. Do you like to live with roommates or live alone? Let's see. Okay. So go ahead, go back.
I definitely believe that it's better to live with roommates in a foreign country because you are alone. So you can learn you can learn each other about their cultures and all those of things. To illustrate it better, when I was in school, I go to exchange, and I have a roommate, and she was so amazing because she make me feel like I'm in home, and also have a friend to talk with her, and also I learn all about her culture. So I think it's better to live with a roommate. That's the reason why I prefer to live with a roommate. I'm sorry. I was so nervous. I don't know why.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, that's okay. You know, if you ever forget something, it's perfect. You know, it sounds even natural, so it's okay. Just try not to force it. Okay. So well done. I think that was an amazing response. You have already mastered, you know, the structure, you're using transitions, and you also, you know what to do, what to say. You get good examples as well, but maybe be careful just with the tenses. That's where you can hide your score. So when I go to school, she make me feel. So as I was saying, you can use the simple present, not try to keep them for everything. You know, I go to school or I go to college in the States and I have a roommate and she makes me feel like I'm not alone. So you can do that, or you can just, you know, change the story a bit and make it like if it were something that's happening to you right now. So you can say, right now, try to get used to it. You know, right now I have a roommate and I don't know, she helps me with this and this and that.
Okay.
So it's gonna get easier.
Okay.
Just be careful. Okay, then where is okay. So which company do you prefer to work with? A company in which you work independently or a company with a tutor to help you out? So independently or with a tutor? Let's okay. So off you go.
I would like to work in a company that have a tutor to help me, due to the fact that I could feel more comfortable, and also to be more secure myself, due to the fact that I can learn all things about that tutor, and also I can develop myself better, and this experience can make me feel like more secure about myself, and it's better for my develop as a professional. So for that reason, I prefer to work with a tutor to be more secure about myself.
Okay. Hey, nice. So I like the way you expressed it this time. Okay. So everything was fine this time. You know, there were some grammar mistakes. What I would try to improve here is, you know, vocabulary, especially for this work stuff. So you should have in mind some arguments. So careful with words like, you know, instead of saying develop myself, you could say develop personal. So those are very common things that to say. Or instead of saying secure, which I don't know if that's the word, you could say confident, right? More confident.
Exactly.
Careful with words like development versus develop. Okay, what else? Yeah, and just look for words, you know, words to use. This is a very common thing. Like, do you prefer to work alone or work with someone helping you out? So look for some words to help you out there. Okay, just that. Okay. Okay, let's go with this one. Do you agree or disagree? Video games are completely worthless to children. So they only have like negative effects on children. Okay. So you can go now.
I definitely agree with the statement due to the fact that there are so video games that are so violent for them, and this that the children's absorb everything, so it's so harmful for themselves. Due to to illustrate it better, I have a little sister that loves game fire free, something like that, and there is like killing people, and I think it's so violent for her age. So I think we have to take care about what kind of games children can play.
Okay, nice. So good example, good argument. What can I say? Careful with the pronouns that you're using. Always try to make it plural, even when it's something personal. So you can say, I have, or my two little sisters, and you can tell me about that. Just not to get confused with those pronouns.
Okay.
What else? Careful with those plurals, like children's versus just children, right? Careful with those words. But yeah, nothing else really. That was a really good response. I really liked it.
Thank you. He puesto al revés, era Free Fire y he puesto Fire Free, pero bueno, no me acordaba hoy de rato.
Yeah, it's okay. They don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Free Fire, very popular right now. Okay. Okay, what about this one?
Okay.
Some universities expect students to choose a major field of study when they enter the school, like in their freshman year, while other universities wait until the second or the third year before students decide, I guess it's decide, before students decide to choose a major field of study. Which one do you prefer? Okay. Okay. So go ahead.
I think this is a very important decision to make because it's for your entry life. So I would prefer to wait until my second year before I entered to choose my major, due to the fact that I would have more knowledge, and also I would know what I like and what I would like to do for the future. Because when you are studying something, you have to study something that makes you happy, and also you feel so complete. So that's the reason why I prefer to wait until I know better what I would like to do to the future with my future.
Okay, perfect. So I love your response. Yeah, nothing to the real, no comments at all. Like I didn't notice grammar mistakes. You were missing the example, but it was okay because you weren't repeating like the same thing, like the same argument. You were adding some new things. So I think that's cool. Yeah, nothing really. What I could say is again, yeah, just look for some words instead of just adding some spice. Maybe you could say, so I would prefer to wait until my junior year or something like that. So just those words that could help you. But yeah, Nothing technical really. So,
Thank you, Miss. Thank you very much.
okay. I'll see you tomorrow in class, Melissa. Take care.
Okay, see you tomorrow. Take care too. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Miss.
Thanks. Hello there, Natalia.
Hi, teacher.
Hi there. Okay then. So we're gonna be practicing. This is the last session that we have to practice the first task. And this is the last time that we're gonna be seeing this, I promise. So you know what to do here already. You have a prompt, and then you just have 15 seconds to prepare your response and then 45 seconds to deliver it. You know, any questions before we start?
No, teacher. I think it's everything is okay.
All right. So the first task for today will be this one. It goes, do you like to live with roommates or live alone? Which one would you prefer? So 15 seconds now. Okay. So if you're ready, you can go ahead now.
Okay. It depends on my situation. If my roommates are organized and dedicated with all the rules, I would like it because that way I do not feel alone. But many times it is better to have your space for you and that nobody invites it. And that's it. I think is much depending of the situation, uh, because um, other people stay better alone or 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 with roommates.
Okay, nice. So good response, Natalia. I think, it was good. It was a bit different, regarding structure mainly. So I would, if I were you, try to just keep it, go for just one. So that argument, it depends on whether your roommates are clean or organized. It's okay, but it's always better to keep it more direct. So for next time, I would suggest that you do like just one. So I think living with roommates is better, or I prefer because I don't know, I don't like unorganized people, or because I want company and I feel alone. So try to go for a stronger one, and yeah, mainly structure, I would say. What else was I gonna say? And don't forget to have an intro as well. I think a structure, is the only thing that's missing because you already, I didn't notice like grammar things or stuff. So just try to also have an intro. Just give me a bit of context. If you just start with it depends, maybe you could say, well, this depends on doing that. So living with roommates or not depends, but try to give that context.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's go with this one now. Which company would you prefer to work with? A company in which you work independently, or a company with a tutor to help you out? So independently or with a tutor? 15 seconds. All right. So you can go ahead.
Okay. I prefer work in the individual company because that way I would again experience in everything that is the workplace. Since it is important to have an experience in a company or any job do you have, um, in my case, I prefer individual company because I stay much better work individual when you when I work with a tutor.
Okay, nice. So it was better regarding structure. Now you had a stronger argument, and you supported all through your response, and you also had an examples, kind of. You said, in my case, I prefer this since I do this and this and that. So that's good. I would add a transition maybe before the in my case. So for instance, in my case, I do this, so this is why it works for me. Okay. What I could tell you now, I did notice some things. So, have always prepared some vocabulary. I don't think I have, well, I don't know. Have I sent you this document where I have some words for this already?
I think I don't have this.
Okay, so I'll send you, just in case I haven't sent it. So it's a list of words or expressions that you could use, and you have like common topics like work or studies or education, but try to still look for more. Like the first argument that you have, gaining experience. That's a good expression, and you can kind of use others as well. So having prepared some vocabulary. What else? Careful with the transitions. For instance, the word since is that way. It's not science. So be careful with that. Say since, or you can always change it for something like due to the fact that, or for, or as. It's perfectly fine. Careful with the gerunds. So at the beginning, for instance, you say, I prefer work independently. I prefer to work independently or working independently, right? Careful with those things. Yeah, gerunds I noticed some, like it's so much better working individually instead of work individually. So just careful with those gerunds there, practice, and yeah, nothing else really. I think everything else was fine.
Okay.
Okay then. So let's talk about this now. Agree or disagree? Video games are completely worthless to children. So basically they have zero, or they have only negative effects or negative effects upon children. Let's see, 15 seconds. Okay. So go ahead now.
I totally disagree with children being glued to the electronic device because that way they are more distracted and do not pay attention to important things. Apart from that, they can see inappropriate things, and that is way inappropriate things, and is very bad for the childrens because they are they are very distracted with that, and that is why I disagree with this point.
Okay, perfect. So nice. I love your response now. Yeah, maybe an example would be good, but you were kind of giving details, so that's fine. What I could tell you though that you need to be careful with this is you said at the beginning that was perfect. I disagree with children playing video games. That's nice. But at the end you say I disagree with this statement, and you would actually be agreeing with this statement, right? Because you agree that these video games are worthless, or they're negative for children.
Mhm.
So careful with that. And Okay, I didn't really notice that many grammar things. Maybe what I could say is try careful with the transitions you're using. So I noticed that you were trying to use a good one. You said apart from that, but maybe it would be better if you say like besides or what's more in addition, furthermore. And careful with the plurals, these irregular plurals that I know are so annoying, like children versus child, right? So it's not children's or people and person. Careful with those things, and we'll be fine. I think that's pretty much it. Okay, then. Now this one is, some universities expect the students to choose a major field of study when they enter the school in their freshman year, while other universities wait until the second or the third year before students decide to choose a major field of study. Which one do you prefer? So would you prefer to choose what you're gonna major on when you are entering the college, like in the first year, or wait for 1 or 2 years to decide? Let's see. Okay, so you can go ahead.
Okay. I prefer to choose the university where I want to enter the first year. That is finish high school and have already decided my career and where I want to study. I think this is very important because when you large the choose the university, you you I sorry teacher, I forgot one one letter one
That's fine. No worries. That happens all the time, believe me. So it's okay. The good thing is that it was almost at the end. So no problem with that. But whenever that happens, don't apologize, don't say anything, just give a conclusion or something. You gotta practice just doing that because in your test, that's what you need to do.
okay.
Now here, perfect. You had a good argument. You were using it, you were giving an example of yourself. I myself knew what I wanted to study and where I wanted to study when I finished high school. So that's good. Be careful with, interpreting the question. I think in this case, they weren't asking about deciding where to study, but what to study, your major. So for that, have some vocabulary. I think that vocabulary that I sent is going to help. So, it helps to have some words like that. So I want to choose my major when I'm in this year. It's, I don't know. So just that. And yeah. Okay, let's do one more. Perhaps. Okay, this one seems rational. Agree or disagree? People should be fined when they do not wear masks during a pandemic. Sure to the details and so on. So 15. Okay, so off you go now.
Okay, teacher. I totally agree that people wear a mask during the pandemic, so we avoid contagion, and that is very important because when you use the mask, you save your life during the pandemic, and it's very important save you and save your family. And that is one thing are very important. When I totally agree with that the people wear a mask during the pandemic.
Okay, nice. So good. Still careful with the question. It's not about whether we should wear masks or not. It's about whether people who don't wear it
Ah,
should be fined. So careful with those things.
okay.
But it was similar. It was close to that, so no problem. And yeah, nothing really, careful with still those germs. So it's very important to save your family or saving your family. One of
Okay.
those two has to do, but you need the two to save it. And yeah, just that, So any questions, Natalia?
No, teacher, everything is okay.
Okay. So I'll see you tomorrow in class.
Okay. Good evening.
Bye bye. Take care. Good evening. Bye. Hi there, ma'am. Nope. Okay, I have a. Okay, that's fine.
Hi, Miss.
Hi, there you are. Okay. So today's the last session in which we're going to be taking a look at the first task, question 1. I know that you're probably tired of that by now, but this is the last one, I promise. So you know what to do here already. They give you a prompt, they ask you a question, you get 15 seconds to prepare your response, and then 45 to deliberate or respond. So any questions before we start?
No.
Okay.
No questions.
So the first one for today will be this one. Do you like to live with roommates or do you prefer to live alone? So now you have 15 seconds to prepare your response. Okay then. So you're ready? You can go.
Okay. The question. Is it better to live with roommates or to live alone? That personally depends on the personality of the person or what they are looking for. I personally would rather live alone because as an introvert or as a closed person, I like and appreciate my own space. I don't think I will be able to live with other people that they have their own issues or things in life. I need my own room, my own living room and kitchen to do the things I need to do at my own time, cleaning my own stuff and everything that is and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, nice. So perfect. I love your response.
I did a mistake
Great.
that I wasn't looking at the time. I was
Yeah,
looking
that's
at
the
the
only
roof,
thing.
so I wasn't able
Yeah,
to
that's the
finish
only.
with a conclusion.
Yeah, that's fine. The conclusion is not necessary, but it's better to try to finish off before you're done. Just practice so that you know for how long you should be speaking. And maybe what I could add is an example there. I would love to hear an example from you. But yeah, nice. I think nothing else really. Just careful with time, try to add an example, and yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Okay. Let's look at this one now. Which company do you prefer to work with? A company in which you work independently or a company with a tutor to help you out? So independently or with a tutor? 15 seconds.
Can I ask what does like work independently means?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess in this case, it's like you're gonna do your own thing. Nobody's gonna be watching at you. Of course, I guess that you have to work for someone else, but nobody's gonna be there to help you. So if you have problems or stuff, then you gotta solve them yourself. But when you work with a tutor, it's like you're learning, or like you have someone there to guide you throughout the process.
Okay. Is he?
Okay. So okay.
Okay.
So go ahead.
I personally think that working with a tutor is the best case. If you're new to a company or new to a workspace, the best thing to start with will be with help or with a tutor in this case. Someone that will guide you where to go, how to work it, deadlines, schedules, everything related to work that a new baby or a newcomer will know in the first days. So those are the types of advantage I see in a type of work with a tutor rather than working independently because of all the help you will get in your first day. So then it becomes easier and faster to do it by myself. Yay.
Okay, so great, nice. So this time you were so good with timing, you had time to even do a conclusion. Careful with the question. You answered just nice, but I don't know if they're asking about the first day really or just in general. But let's see. And also, I like your word choice. That's what I want to say. You were using words like workspace, deadlines, schedules. So those are like nice things to say in a response like that. That's really gonna add some points there. Regarding the example, I think you kind of gave one. We were saying when you get into details and you talk about like deadlines or schedules, things that you just say, a tutor can help you with things, can help you with your tasks. And then when you get into detail about what those tasks could be, then those count as an example. So just try to add a transition that makes me know that that's an example. So you could say, for instance, they can help you with schedules and deadlines and this and this and that. Okay, so just try to add a transition there.
I try my best without having like any work experience or knowledge.
But it was amazing. I think that that's a response that could get. I would say that you could get a perfect score really in this, at least in this task. Speaking of this task, so real nice. Okay then, let's go with this one, a bit of a different one. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Video games are completely worthless to children. Is that so? 15 seconds now. Okay. So, off you go now.
I completely disagree that video games are a worthless activity for children or for any kind of people, honestly. To begin with, I think that video games are the best art medium that has ever been created. You have art designers, 3D designers, uh, music composers, every kind of art you can think about it. You can put it in a video game, mesh it together, put it in a disc or or in an app, and play. For me, video games are the best kind of art to get all kind of experience, sadness, joyness, happiness. So yeah.
Okay, great. So nice. Cool. Okay, what can I say? So really, I think that was really, really good. I wouldn't really add or change anything to that. I like that you were using transitions. You start with to begin with. I believe these, and you had good, details because like in this one we don't see that, but in so many other questions you have this like use specific reasons or specific details sometimes. So you had that. Be sure to use details like art designers and music composers and stuff. Just make sure that you add a transition before. You can say, for example, you have these and these and these people working together to create a video game, and then children can appreciate that. So just make sure to add that transition in there, and it's gonna be perfect.
Okay, I will work on it.
All right, and we have time to one more. Let's go with. Okay, maybe this one, another one. So agree or disagree? People should be fined when they do not wear masks during a pandemic. Be sure to use details during your response. Let's see. Okay. So you can go.
I agree that people should be fined if they are not wearing a mask in public. The pandemic is a serious situation that is affecting all of us. And if someone is not doing the minimum of their part to help to help everyone go through it, I think they should be fined because it's not something that you will easily forget about it. If you're not wearing a mask in public, it's because you don't want to wear it. You're against the pandemic, or you don't believe in virus. In other words, or in conclusion, I think people should be fine if they are not wearing a mask.
Okay, perfect. So I noticed that you were, but when that happens at the end, it's perfectly fine. You can move on and give your conclusion, which you did, but careful with that time. Make sure that you look at the timer, at least when you're getting there. I love your transitions, the ones that you're using. And I just like the way that you speak, you got confidence and you don't have grammar mistakes at all. So I really think you can pull it off and you can get a perfect score here. So yeah, just maybe, okay, what can I say? Just keep in mind to use that transition there for the example, but that's the only thing. So yeah.
Okay, Miss.
Any
Thanks.
questions
No, no.
before we go?
Will that be
Okay.
all?
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow in class.
Okay, bye, Miss. Take care.
Bye bye, take care. Paula. How you doing?
Hi, teacher. Fine, thanks.
Okay, good to hear. So today is our last session in which we're going, or we're not, it's not our last session, but it's the last session that we're going to be working on the first task, the independent one. So you know what to do here already. It's the one where you have a prompt, you have a question, and then you get 15 seconds to prepare your response and 45 seconds to speak. You know, it's the same old one. And yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and practice. So, okay, this is the first one for today. Agree or disagree? All students should be required to study art and music in secondary or high school. This is specific reasons to support your answer. So now you get 15 seconds. Go. Okay, then. So if you're ready to go, then you can go.
Yes, teacher. Okay. Well, the way I see it, studying at school art and music shouldn't be obligate to all the students because not all the students used to like those kind of things. Moreover, for some students, it's more difficult than others. For example, in my case, I used to hate music classes because I couldn't play any instrument. So that's why I think that.
Perfect, Paula, nice. So I think that's a great response. No, you got it all covered, I would say. I think you're getting a bit nervous, just loosen up a bit, but yeah, good. Okay, some things I could say. Careful with gerunds. For instance, at the beginning, I love the way you're starting. The way I see it, but in this case, you need a gerund, right? The way I see it, studying art and music shouldn't be mandatory. So this shouldn't be mandatory, but you need a gerund. So gerunds, careful with that. What is? I love your transitions. Moreover, not all students are gonna be good at this. So on. Your example was also great. Careful with time though. Make sure that you don't start like you leave some time for the example there. So careful with that. But everything else, I think that's a really amazing response. So we're starting good.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay.
Instead of
Now let's
using,
go. Yeah.
instead of using because I can use only for, or there is another word I can use instead of using because.
Yeah. You could say since or as or due to the fact that or even given that or considering one of those, I think. Or you can always invert the order, you know. I like or I hate music because I don't know how to play an instrument. I don't know how to play instruments since I hate music. You can always invert the order as well.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay then. So this is the task. Do you like to live with roommates or do you prefer to live alone? 15 seconds. Okay then. So Now you can go.
To be honest, to live with roommates, it's better for me, for it's cheaper, even though you have some problems with your roommates, but that's part of the life, and you could overcome those problems by speaking. Therefore, in my personal opinion, it's better to live with roommates, and also in my case, the way well, I'm really sorry, teacher, I don't know how to end that part. I want to say in conclusion, but I didn't know how to put that.
Fine, you don't really need a conclusion. You know, it's just like an extra thing, really. It's okay if you just leave it there. You don't really need a conclusion, believe me. But you know, if you have time, then why not? Okay. All right, so nice response, good. I think everything was fine, you know, grammar and everything. Okay, what I want to see is, you know, how your, or what your position was, because you said, or maybe try just to support it a bit more. In this case, you said, I think that living with roommates is better. Okay, that's your position. But then you said, even though you may have some problems and stuff. So you were kind of counter argument your own position. Maybe, you know, for that, you would have said, I think it's better to live alone because you may have problems with that person. So I don't know, just try to make it a bit stronger. I like though that you're using that structure, you know, even though you may have problems with them, you can always speak up and solve them. So that structure is really good to use. You were using good transitions. At the beginning, you didn't make that mistake of gerunds. You said to live with roommates is better. That's perfect. So just, you know, regarding your position, try to keep it a bit more clear, and yeah, we'll be fine. Okay, let's go with this one now. This one is, which company would you prefer to work with? A company in which you can work independently, or a company with a tutor to help you out? So independently or with a tutor? Let's see. Okay. So whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Oh, well, if I were choosing between work independent and work with a tutor, I would go to work with a tutor because it's always good to have some help. That helps you overcome some situations that are new for you. Therefore, you will make your work better, and you will be able to learn new things. That's what I think.
Good, perfect. So I love your response at the end, because that's why I think so. That would be a good conclusion. So that's why I think so. Okay. Besides from that, at the beginning, careful with this structure that you're using. I know that I think I myself suggested it, but it's a bit complicated. You know, if I were to choose between, and there you need two gerunds. So if I were to choose between, okay, let's write it down. If I were to choose between, and here you need a gerund. So which means if I were to choose between working independently or, I don't know, working here and you need another gerund, or working with a tutor, And then you could say, if this is the preference type, you could say, I would prefer, or I prefer to, and here you could use just like a normal verb, basic form. So if I were to choose between working independently or working or with a tutor, I would prefer to work alone, or I would prefer to have a tutor with me. So just that structure. However, I noticed that you're using different ones, and I like that because it's gonna, make you used to the idea of using different things. I didn't even hear one, I think. So that's perfect. But also try to have your template, choose the one that you think suits you better, that works better for you, that you feel more comfortable with, and just go for that one for everything. Like if you're gonna use this one, that's good. Or if you're gonna use or I don't know, what was the other one? Like to me or personally, or when it comes to this or that, just go for one so that you get used to using it. What else? Nothing else really. You have really good arguments and you're using transitions and your ideas are connected. So just keep up doing the same thing.
Thank you, teacher. Teacher, a question about one phrase. I was hearing the phrase to illustrate better or to better illustrate.
Okay, so both are okay. You can say to better illustrate or to further illustrate or to further explain as well, or to illustrate better. Like for the four of them are okay. Or you can just say to illustrate. That's also the transition. So to illustrate, I have, I don't know, this is happening to me and I had a tutor one time. So grammarly, all of them are okay. The one that sounds more fancy, I would say is to better illustrate. This one sounds fancy. Or to further illustrate, even better.
Oh, okay, teacher, thank you.
All right. So let's go with this one now. Agree or disagree? Video games are completely worthless to children. So worthless. They have no meaningful value. They have negative effects only. Okay. So,
To my mind, I agree that technology is worthless to children. Because these children are destroying their health. For instance, I have seen my brother using his cell phone all the day, and when I try to speak with him, he tries to cry, and nobody in my house says anything about that problem. And I not only see that problem in my house, I only see that problem in all of the houses here in Bolivia.
okay. So, cool. All right, you had a good argument. You say it's destroying children's health, like probably mental health. But make sure to have some. This is very common. It was technology. It wasn't that easy, but it's video games. So you can talk about violence. You can talk about I don't know. There are many things. Now, what I like is that you were trying to use different tenses, and you added your example. In the other ones, I know I wasn't saying anything about the example because you were missing examples, but it was okay as long as you say something different. So you had an argument, but then you added something like that was explaining it better. So that was fine. If you're gonna give an example, which is also, it's even better, it adds variety, you can do that. And yeah, there weren't any grammar mistakes. Maybe at the end, that structure that you were that you were gonna use, not only, but also, that's a really good one to use. But careful, it has to be this way. So not only do I see this in my house, but also I have seen it everywhere I go. And you can even do like an inversion here, right? Not only do I see this in my house, but I also see it everywhere I go. Or you can keep it normal. Not only I see this, but it's okay as well. So just careful with that, and make sure that you have something for this type of questions, like technology related. And yeah.
Okay, teacher. Teacher, I was asking if I can have a list like a vocabulary or there isn't.
Yeah, I mean, have I sent you the list I have?
No, teacher, I didn't receive.
Okay, so I'll send you now. It was actually here. It has some words in it, but of course you can complement it and add some other words or expressions even. Expressions like, there are many expressions for like technology things or work, education, or even business. I think we're missing a lot here, environment and technology. So add those words there and okay, so I send the link.
Yes, teacher, I already see it.
Okay. Any other question?
No, teacher, thank you. Thank you so much. I am.
Don't sweat. Okay then, Paula. So I'll see you tomorrow in class. Hope you have